After a month of working out of town, a soldier returns home, hopeful for a joyful reunion with his family. However, a startling surprise awaits him at his doorstep, leading to a profound shift in his perspective on his loved ones. From a young age, Zach found inspiration in the men serving in the armed forces. He would spend countless hours in the local library, poring over photos of soldiers in magazines and immersing himself in stories of their bravery and sacrifice. His dream of serving his country was born during those formative years. As he matured, an opportunity to realize that dream presented itself, and he seized it without hesitation. Though joining the armed forces meant enduring rigorous training, Zach was undeterred by the challenges ahead. Nothing could dampen his resolve to fulfill his aspirations. Shortly after applying, Zach was accepted into the armed forces, marking just the beginning of his journey. His excitement was palpable as he donned his uniform for the first time, relishing every moment of his role in safeguarding his nation and promoting peace. A few years after joining the army, he tied the knot with his high school sweetheart, Megan, whom he loved the most. He believed life would be more joyful having her by his side, unaware that fate had a shocking surprise in store for him. Since the couple had dated for almost a decade before their marriage, Zach saw Megan as the only person who understood him well. He envisioned her blending in effortlessly with his life and being his best friend for life. Everything went well during the first 2 years of their marriage. As expected, Zach spent a considerable chunk of his time away from home while Megan stayed home with her mother-in-law, Elizabeth. Megan shared a respectful bond with Zach's mother. They treated each other with love, which made Zach feel at peace. He always wanted a life partner who wouldn't ask him to live away from his mother, and it seemed like he made the right choice by marrying Megan. After spending more than 3 months with his family, Zach had to take up a 2-month mission for which he had to be stationed abroad. He told his wife about it a week before he left. "I'll be back soon, make it," he said while holding her hand. "I know this is the first time I'll stay away from home for so long, and you're gonna miss me. But I'll keep calling you, okay? Please be safe. I can't wait for you to come back. I'll be back before you know it, baby." Zach hugged his wife, unaware of how his life would soon change forever. Zach left home the following week, hoping to return after 2 months. He met Elizabeth before leaving and said, "Take care of yourself, Mom. I'll call you every other day, okay? You can always ask Megan for help if you need anything." "I love you, Mom," she replied, her voice trembling while tears trickled down her cheeks. "Stay safe, my son." Saying goodbye to her beloved son always made Elizabeth feel emotional. The fear of losing her boy made her heart race, but she couldn't do much to eliminate it except pray for his safety. While Zach was away from home, he would call his wife whenever possible. They talked briefly, updating each other about their day. Zach would also ask his wife about his mother, and she'd always tell him Elizabeth was fine. A month into the mission, Zach's boss told him they didn't need to stay there anymore. "Our operation ends here," his chief informed the soldiers. "You're free to go home, but please remember that we might have to work on another one of these next weeks." Excited to meet their families again, the soldiers said in the military van that would take them to the airport. While some of Zach's friends informed their families before reaching home, he didn't call Megan or Elizabeth to tell them about his arrival, surprising them. After returning to his hometown, Zach sat in his car and drove back home. He bought flowers for Megan and a box of cupcakes for his mother, hoping they would be delighted to see him. However, Zach was shocked when he entered his street. His gaze shifted from the road to a tent in his driveway. "What's this about?" he asked, his eyebrows arched in surprise. After parking his car in front of his house, Zach exited it, his gaze fixed on the tent. He took the bouquet and cake out of the back seat of his car, wondering why someone had set up a tent in the driveway. Walking towards his house, Zach noticed something strange. He saw his mother sitting inside the tent, eating from a disposable container, but he couldn't understand why. "Mom?" Zach looked at his mother, his eyebrows furrowed. "What are you doing here?" As Zach neared the tent, he realized that his mother had been sitting there for a long time because he saw a bag of trash outside the tent and her clothes piled up in a corner. "Mom!" Elizabeth froze in horror. She didn't want to answer her son's questions. "Mom, what are you doing here?" Zach asked her again as he got down on his knees. "Nothing, honey. Elizabeth lowered her gaze. "Mom, look at me. I want to know what happened." He cupped his mother's wrinkled face in his palms, and his heart sank, noticing how much frailer she'd become. Her smile was weak, Her lips were chapped, and there was only a thin line of tears in her eyes. "Everything's fine, Zach," Elizabeth lied. "Mom, please tell me why you're living outside. Where's Megan?" Zach's eyes darted around before fixating on his mother's again. "She kicked me out." The older woman burst into tears while telling her son what had happened. "She always tells me to live in a tent when you're not home. I never told you about it because I didn't want to bother you, sweetheart." "What?" Zach couldn't believe his ears. "Megan kicks you out when I'm not around? Seriously?" Refusing to listen to his mother's pleas to stop him from confronting Megan, Zach stormed inside the house, shouting angrily, "Megan, how dare you make my mother sleep outside? Are you out of your mind?" Megan was taken aback to see her husband standing in the living room, not expecting him home so soon. "I was, honey. Come near, I missed you." Megan attempted to change the subject, unable to find the right words to defend herself. "Stop right there. Why is my mother living in a tent outside?" Zach demanded an answer, but Megan couldn't even look at him. She couldn't answer him, knowing it would only push him further away and lead to his everlasting hatred. That day, Zach learned the most shocking truth of his life. The woman he loved the most had betrayed him. She had hurt his mother, casting her aside like garbage. Zach couldn't rest until he had done the same to Megan. He soon divorced her and hired a nurse to care for his mother when he wasn't around. He'd never imagined that the woman he had loved for over a decade would bring such pain to his family. But he was grateful that fate had revealed her true nature to him. Thank you.